Good to see a good turnout here. So I have spoken here earlier, and thanks to Trade Me and the organizers here for arranging again and giving me the opportunity to speak. So, Drishti, what I'm going to talk about tonight is the Drishti, a visual testing tool. And this is more about the things that we started testing with the responsive design coming up, where we have websites or web applications that we test on the desktop and different mobile devices. I just want to see how many of you are testing web applications on desktop and mobile. Can I see how many of you is already doing web applications? Yes. Oh, good. Okay, great. So you might probably already know that when you're doing a responsive web design testing, the layout changes, and with the layout changes, you have to do a regression testing all over again on the mobile devices as well as desktop devices. So this tool helps you to do that. I'll not do much of talking. I'll directly jump on the slide. So what does this means? Basically, it's just a view or a site. What you see. It's in yoga what you call as you see or you concentrate on a particular page. Typically, when we do manual regression testing on responsive designs, we do eyeballing. It's like more visual. So this tool will help you to do those visual kind of testing. Currently, what we have, the problem with the current tools is the test environment setup. Given I'm not picking up on you, sorry, but you already know setting up Selenium or what page you have, or if you are going through the first time installation and configuring it, it takes too long to set up. And then we have unreliable test, it's failing every now and then. It's time consuming when you run the entire test. Error messages are dull. I think we have already shown some error messages. Sorry, I'm not picking on you, but I'm just telling what Selenium shows you error message, which is like very redundant to us on a testing point of view. We are not developers, we are testers here. So it should be very buggy. Selenium drivers, you have to wait. If there is a new version of the browser, you have to wait for the Selenium web driver to be updated when you start testing it, or you'll get lots of errors if the implementation is not there. So you don't actually, you're depending on Selenium rather than doing the testing in the browser directly. Yeah, something like this is the error message what you get, which doesn't in Selenium, which I don't know. Being a tester, automation tester, I really don't make out what's happening here. So the intent of this day is to write tests faster, to test, and you don't need any programming language or coding experience here. You just write a specification based on a format, and that's it. Everything is taken care of. Enjoyable. It's like you have to enjoy what you test and what you write. So the intent is that to make it more enjoyable. Cross-browser and mobile devices support. This is very important because whenever you test using Selenium, when you have to test that in a mobile device on a browser, you have to use a different tool maybe or a different driver like APM, which is like you have to learn the APM tool all over again to understand how to implement that on a mobile device. So it's like learning Selenium plus learning APM. Why? Why do we want to do that? Why there is no direct way of doing that? And drop Selenium. So, sorry, we have already had a talk about Selenium, but the intent is to drop Selenium and have no dependency at all. Actually, yeah, so that we can do the testing. And actually, I think we are in an era where, the browser itself should drive all the testing, not some other tool driving it. The browser itself should do the testing. So, I think the idea I've already mentioned that, the registry helps you to test in all the browsers, including mobile, as I mentioned, but as well as it is a test executor as well as a test reporter in itself. You don't need a command line or anything else. You just open up the browser and it will show you everything in the browser. I'll show how it looks. So back down here on the right hand side, what it has done, it has executed for it to test and shown you in the console itself. So you don't need a command line. You open up this browser It just executes the test and gives you a report in the command in the console, browser console. So it's like 42 tests within 20 milliseconds. I don't know how much Selenium would take to do that. Yeah, but there are 42 tests. I can show people on how to do and how the spec look like and how many tests I'm doing. It also highlights the failures directly here. What element got failed within the browser. So it's highlighted in the red. So what I was checking here, if you see in the bottom on the console, it gives you a clear table view of what has failed. So if you see, I'm checking for stuff2.co.nz, whereas actually it is stuff.co.nz. So directly using the console, the actual and the expected value here, and it failed. And the second example is not very clear here, but I'm looking for offline, but actually it's Wellington. So it's giving you a report directly on the table view of what it is, as well as the CSS selector. So what CSS selector failed, and what was the condition, what I was looking for, what was the actual and what was the expected. So directly in the, so don't go to a command line interface or somewhere, just test everything on the browser itself. And a full test report will tell you a collapsed view within the console, like what passed, what failed, what was visible, and things like that. Again, in the console itself, you can see what is expected and what is actual. So there are two different views on what you can do there. So what can Distri test? You saw there were 42 tests, but you know what was it testing actually. So it tests the layout of the pages. If you see on a desktop or a tablet or mobile, the layout changes and it can detect, or you specify how it would look for a mobile or a tablet, and it will test this across the devices. So, yeah. So what it tests what the element is on left of or right of. Is it above or below of an element or a particular container, you can say. So it can test if an element is, so if I say, I am on left of, or maybe trade me or, this is left here, I am on left of, no, Varun is on left of me and things like that. I am on 5th level or whatever. So you can test all those elements, or the visual, it's more on a visual view of testing elements, whether they are at the right layout within a mobile or desktop page. At the same time, it can check if elements are aligned on the top, on the bottom, on the left, as well as on the right. If they are all aligned together, it can check the width and height of the elements also. So it's it's not restricted to doing this only. It does more checks. Is the element visible or absent? If the element is within a viewport, now what does a viewport is? Whenever you open a browser, you don't see the entire page. You just see a section of a page, and then you can scroll down. So you can check whether when a page opens up, that particular element is present in that screen. And you can check color, CSS properties, style items, and much more. Yeah, not to mention it can do click, enter text, page up, page down, show an element in a viewport. Maybe a basic things what Selenium do. Okay, enough talking, action time. Yeah. Okay, so what does it look like? You just specify in a config file, and this is all in JavaScript. You just specify in a config file which URL you want to test, which browser you want to open to start testing, and this is a spec which says that you load a BBC mobile homepage where the browser width is this, a minimum is this, and maximum is this. It means if a minimum of browser width is 0 and it's up to 320, then only load this BBC mobile home. Or else I would say BBC desktop, you load only when the CSS selector is BBC homepage. It means your title is BBC homepage, as well as the browser width is from 0 to 1440, so the maximum. So you can have multiple conditions and say which file to load to test on different devices or different conditions. And this is how a test file looks like. I won't go into detail of how it looks like, But yeah, I'll just show how the test goes. So I got the demo video here. How do I get a mouse? Oh. So for this, you just need a Node installation, and what I'm doing is I'm within a registry folder, my tool, and I'm just writing npm start. What it will do is it will fire up a browser in itself and start testing on its own. So I'm a real browser, not a driver. So there's it. Yeah, so this is a video. When I click on that, you see the test executed. Let me pause it here now. Now, it ran the test. It showed that it passed 16. It had 2 failures, and it showed. I was testing for a condition called as abc.com, whereas suddenly it's bbc.com. At the same time, if you're running from a command line, of course, you get a response back saying which spec file or which test file you use, how many passed, how many failed, what browser you are using to test this, Chrome 50 version, and what was the browser bit you were testing. So this gives you back on what is testing. So if you have a continuous integration kind of a pipeline, you can just refer to this test results and understand whether it has passed or failed. So it can really integrate well. Yeah, so I'll proceed. So what I'll do is I'll change this file, test file here, and change it to BBC. Yeah, sorry, I have opened up the mobile view. It's on my mobile, so I have opened up the same thing, and this is actually on my mobile, and it's loading the same file. So it has really highlighted how many elements have failed, and it has also given how many passed, how many failed, and what browser and what Safari version are you using here. So it tells you that you have to use a different file because it's on a different device. You cannot use the same one. And you don't have to restart the tool. You change the file, you reload. I change the test to BBC and change the other element, and you can see the test has passed. You don't have to regenerate the tool. So you just refresh the browser. Actually, I'm in the process of incorporating a live reload. Whatever changes you make, the browser would automatically refresh and would give you the results immediately. So you don't have to reload altogether again. So yeah, so no restarting the server or no restarting the tool altogether. Everything is here. You make changes, refresh, it will refresh, it will give you the results direct. And this would work on the mobile browser also. So yeah, maybe it's demo video is too long. Yeah, so here there are these conditions which I'm testing on a mobile device. What is the weight, what is the height, and things like that. And you define elements based on the CSS selector. So yeah, it is checking most on left off. Its height is, its width is based on different elements. Yeah, lots of checks you can do. Anything more? Yeah, so since I refreshed the page, you can see on the command line I already got all passed, 0 failed, and browser. So, have you seen the demo already? Where can this be used? This can be used definitely for responsive design testing, cross-browser and mobile devices testing. Of course, they are both the same, but it works across all the browsers, all the modern browsers. Regression testing, of course, when something changes on the CSS level or JavaScript level, and your page is broken, you can test that. Smoke test, definitely, and post-release testing. So, we have been successfully, in my company we have successfully or have been testing the smoke test and the post-release testing with this tool actually. Yeah, so I work for stuff. Yeah, and it was imagined and developed that stuff by me. Actually, it's open source. You can start using it, and maybe contribute if you like. Yeah, so yeah, this idea and concept is very new, and you don't have to be dependent on any language or any other tool. Just I think you just need a Node.js installation, and you're ready to go start using this.